Welcome into No Punt Intended, presented by Club Fantasy. 6 weeks, I think. It's about time I'm back. I know you missed me. I know they didn't, but they have to deal with it anyways. I'm back. Week 2 of the NFL season. I'm happy that I got to see a week of games before I gave you any bad advice. So the bad advice is coming now after watching the suck-offs that happened last week. As previously seen in my, trust me, I see them making faces in the back. The Patriots versus the Dolphins is a suck-off this week, all right? Get your minds out of the gutter. We all know what that means. Week 2, folks, still a lot of mysteries, still a lot of things that are yet to unfold so far this NFL season, and so many overreactions that I'm sure many of you will hear in the comments as well from us. Let's get into it. Welcome into No Punt Intended, presented by Club Fantasy. What?
Just you. I miss you.
Yeah, far less suck-offs now that Joe's not around.
Well, it's more suck-offs and less exposure rate now because we're in season. So here we go. It's in my little tag. It is in my little tag. All right. It's going to stay there the entire show. I'm just going to make a joke about whatever happened to the Patriots last week because holy God, we'll get to that soon.
Yeah.
First off, subscribe to the YouTube. We've seen great growth and we hope to see a lot more throughout the rest of this season. If you're on Apple, Spotify, any of the podcast platform, hit the follow button. Don't miss any of the fantasy football content. We have stuff. It feels like every day now at this point. Do we miss a day during the week?
Sunday. We take Sunday off for football.
Yeah, because that's football. So you have six days a week worth of stuff. And it's not Ryan Clark yelling at a journalist on how to do his job. So
precisely.
To put it bluntly. But super chat as well. We know we get a lot of questions in here. If you want yours bumped up to the top, super chat is a way to do that. And I've been told kick it to Josh for this part. That's what it's what it says on the show sheet. Kick it to Josh.
The fantasy football season's here, and Trophy Smack is where you want to get all your rewards. They have trophies, rings, championship belts, all designed to tell your league mates who the real champion is. But don't forget to show some love to your commissioners for the thankless job they have. Hit the link in the description of this podcast and check out some of the swag that you can get for your commish. But just remind them who the second most important person in the league is.
You got it.
You. All available at trophysmack.com/club fantasy.
It was so good almost until the end. It was so good. Wow. All right.
Bill's paid. I get for doing a show right before this one.
Yeah. Bill's paid. Also, Discord, fun times.
Yeah.
Co-founder Discord, Full Sail graduate. So shout out him.
Hey.
Yeah. Cool things, right? Link in the description. Josh, Ryan, very active in there. I am not, but if you yell at me, maybe I'll respond to you.
I say, and I always want to give credit to Austin when we talk about the Discord, and I want to give Gator credit now that the season has started. Those two have been holding down the Discord. So
also offended when I said best team in Florida. He didn't mention the University of South Florida Bulls that just beat his Florida Gators.
That's all right. They're going to lose this week. So
no, they're not. USF to the moon, baby. USF to the moon. Look out. Horns
Carson
up.
Beck looks like a legitimate quarterback now. What are we talking about here?
Just give him a couple with Midori Sours and a Lamborghini, and he's gonna be pulled over. So I don't know what to tell you. All right. News and notes. George Kittle on IR. This is no joke. My coworker had 3 tight ends on her 1 tight end team. Obviously, we don't do that here. One of them was George Kittle. So I'm like, you don't need George Kittle. This was probably at 1:50 on Sunday. Central time zone. I dropped the 2 guys to put in waiver claims. George Kittle nonetheless goes and injures himself no less than 2 hours later. I said, McKay, I'm very sorry. You might want to pick a tight end back up because George Kittle's not going to be playing. That's on me. I apologize.
Yeah,
Brock Purdy could potentially miss multiple weeks. It is looking like he is definitely going to miss this week. Yeah. Quote, long shot to play. So Mac Jones, you can't escape him, guys.
I'm a Corkle.
You can't escape Mac Jones. He is in line to start this week in New Orleans. Mac Jones against Spencer Rattler.
Woo!
SEC throwdown of the century.
This is what we pay the money for.
Is it? Is it what we pay the money for? Is that what we pay the money for? Because tickets for that game are currently going, as I quickly find, they're going for $72. That's 73 more than you should be paying to go to that game.
The spread on that game is still San Francisco -3.5.
Yeah, that's how bad New Orleans is.
Yeah.
No, I mean, I understand that, but like, I would be willing to take the Saints and the points there.
I would take the cover on the 3.5. I don't think they win by more than a field goal.
Saints lost by what, a touchdown last week? I see the San Francisco team is very similar to that Arizona team. So
yeah. Quinshon Judkins missed practice Wednesday. He was at the league office talking through the investigation for his off-field matters. So the Judkins mess is still up in the air.
Dylan Sampson contract. That's the thing.
Yeah. Well, yes. Dylan Sampson catching many a passes though, which is something we'd love to see. And Harold Fannin, shout out. Look at that. What a guy. All right. Already quick questions here, which is great. Stop saying that is not a question, so we will skip Emma's. Kyle Siebert, audio. Awesome. Trade Ollie Gordon and George Pickens. Yes.
Absolutely.
1,000% you should trade Ollie Gordon and George Pickens.
Trade a third string running back for A.J. Brown? Yeah. Yes. Who was offering you that?
Yeah, get that trade done as quickly as possible.
Yeah,
that's
you want
insane.
A.J. Brown. Don't fall victim to the 5% target share in week 1.
Yeah, remember when Devonta Smith had 0 targets week 1? It was either last year or 2 years ago, and then he had 150 and 2 touchdowns the following week.
Yep, that's what Philly does. So,
well, and then you look at the matchup this week against the Chiefs, who just got torched by Justin Herbert.
If Quentin Johnston can catch 2 touchdowns against the Chiefs, A.J. Brown can catch 7.
I'm 1,000% putting money on an anytime touchdown for A.J. Brown.
Yeah. Kyle says
that should have been your 2 touchdown bet, Ryan.
I promise you I was this close, but I'm like, I at least want to make sure I get 1 touchdown out of my 2 touchdown bet, and I'm still worried about that Eagles passing game after last week. So
yeah. Kyle says he's creating it. He's not good at making trades. He's trying to make something fair.
That's not fair.
Not fair.
I'm not saying don't offer it.
Definitely offer it because I think there's still people that buy into the Ollie Gordon hype even after 1 week. Like,
yeah, that's what I was gonna say. It's not egregious. It's a good starting point to see how they counter, but that's not
especially
good for
if
them.
Pickens ends up having a good week this week, which I do think he will.
Yeah, it may be something that you have to wait a week on.
Yeah,
but even then, if AJ Brown goes off, you're definitely not getting.
Well, then you're not getting that trade either.
That's the thing. Make the trade, see what happens. Like, what's the worst they can say? No.
Yep.
Like
happens all the time.
Exactly.
They could come to your house and slap you in the nuts, but like I don't think they're gonna do that. There's just simple decline will suffice. Steven, thanks, man.
Yeah.
No, it's not. We appreciate you. Long-time listener. Start sit, need 1 running back, 1 flex. We'll start in the backfield. Sampson, Charbonnet. We'll start in the backfield there because we need 1 running back. Ryan.
God, I am not completely bought in that Zach Charbonnet is stealing that role, and it's half PPR. I'll go Dylan Sampson here.
Josh.
Yeah, I think I'm going to go Sampson as well. I'm trying to remember who the Browns have the
they play
Ravens.
in Baltimore.
100%. Give me Sampson.
Yeah.
Yep. They play in Baltimore, and the Seattle Seahawks are a team playing somewhere in Pittsburgh. Sorry.
Pittsburgh.
I always hate that every time I look for a team on this. They're the last team.
That's the DK Metcalf revenge game. That's what that one is.
Oh my God. I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, no, I'm ready for that on a couple of my teams. I'm ready for that. Sampson in the backfield, easy. And then the flex. It doesn't sound like we're going to take Charbonnet over any of these guys, but Cedric Tillman, DJ Moore, or Jaden Reed, Ryan.
I'm probably going to go DJ Moore. It obviously wasn't a great game for Chicago last week, but I think it'll be a little bit cleaner this week. I don't know what exactly to make of that entire offense, but I think it could be a fun game against Detroit. I'll go DJ Moore.
Well, DJ Moore is dealing with the injury that he suffered on Monday, so definitely keep an eye on the practice reports.
Well, yeah.
But you want to talk about narratives. This is the Ben Johnson revenge game against Cleveland, or not Cleveland, excuse me, Detroit. So I think there's going to be
Flacco
plenty
revenge game.
Well, yeah, exactly. Flacco is going to be slinging it as well. Tillman was very involved. give me the talent. DJ Moore is the better talent, but keep an eye on the reports there. I'm not ready to trust Reed yet, especially with how much they spread the football around there in Green Bay, and that's a Thursday night game anyway. So I'm going to lean DJ Moore, but you have a solid pivot with Tillman if anything goes wrong with DJ Moore leading up to that game.
God, I'm so happy the Bears are still the Bears. Let me tell you. Oh, I fell asleep at the start of the fourth quarter on Monday Night Football, and I woke up.
Right to.
Oh, I woke up with a giant smile on my face when I saw Vikings 27, Bears 24, and I was like,
Yeah,
okay.
talk about how the Sunday night game and the Monday night game had the same narrative, but one was far more exciting.
Correct. Of all of them, I would probably go DJ Moore, and then I would go Cedric Tillman right behind him if DJ Moore is not 100%. Carrington, Chuba worth targeting in Dynasty. Yeah.
I mean,
if you get him for a third rounder.
Yeah,
you're not going to get
enough. I'm in an enormous Dynasty league where Jonathan Brooks actually slipped through the cracks. I missed him on waivers, and someone else was able to grab him. That's what I'm saying. Like, got cut, missed it, didn't even notice it. People have given up on this guy. I was checking Football Guys rankings, Dynasty rankings for him this past week, and he's in like the 80s and 90s for running backs. Like,
good.
We are writing him off like he's done.
He's on my IR. I need him. I need a Cinderella story out of that kid.
Yeah.
Don't overpay, but I mean, maybe the Panthers looked horrible.
I think 2 seconds is fine. I mean, he is a starting running back, so
yeah.
Late first would be the highest I would go.
I would not go late first for Chuba. I was thinking a singular second. So if you want to meet me and Josh in the middle, maybe go a 2 and a 3.
Kyle, you're not going to get him for that price. That's the thing.
Yeah.
Kyle adding in Pickens and Troy Franklin in a third for AJ Brown in a 7th. This feels like a keeper league. Yeah. Because I was like, there's no way there's a 7-round.
But then there's a question of, am I paying anything to keep AJ Brown? I'm still making this trade, but there could be some back end cost that weighs into this a bit.
Yeah, and he's saying he offered him that. Throw it an offer, see what happens, and then we kind of build from there, Kyle.
Yeah.
Nino, would you trade Jamar, Tony Pollard, ETN, for Gibbs and AJ Brown, and my choice of Olave or David Montgomery? I don't want to trade Jamar Chase? ?
Yeah.
If they're okay, so I'll say that I was incorrect. They traded Tank Bigsby and not Travis Etienne. So Etienne's job is safe as hell
for this season. Yeah.
So give me Travis Etienne now. Like I'm fine with Etienne. I thought he was going to be the dog out of it because he's in his 5th year.
You're trading 3 startable pieces for arguably 2 startable pieces. Yeah. I'm going to hang on to the Jamar side of this. So.
Yeah, I think that's pretty close. I'm
not
saying
Gibbs.
ETN does it every week, but
what's funny is I've said this before. I would trade Jamar straight up for Gibbs because I'm running back always guy. But that whole trade in its entirety, I prefer the Jamar side. You have 2 running backs. So
yeah. All right, we'll go away from the questions just for a sec. We'll get through Smash Plays Game of the Week before we get into our upsides. We'll get into more questions, so please keep dropping them in. Smash Play on the thumbnail. Ryan asked 2 questions. He said, should it be Christian McCaffrey or a tight end that I can't name right now? And I said, tight ends suck, even though I have a tight end as my upside because I think it's just too fun to not have the tight end that I named as my upside. But really, really hard to not have Christian McCaffrey as the smash play when he's playing the worst team in the NFL and their number 1 passing target is not in the game.
Yeah, and that's kind of what I'm looking at with this whole thing is who else is San Francisco going to lean on in this New Orleans game? Who else do they have? 10 targets out of McCaffrey last week. He had a monster PPR fantasy day without scoring a touchdown, and that was with splitting time, and I'm using that term loosely, with Jennings and Kittle. Those guys are probably not in this week, and I am not going to freak out about it being Mac Jones over Brock Purdy. While McCaffrey was not efficient last week, he was like 3.6 yards per carry as a runner. He got it done through the air, which is all we want out of him. When they brought in Brian Robinson, we thought we might see Robinson run a little more. It didn't happen last week, but we thought McCaffrey could be a receiver. He has to be now. And now you have the New Orleans Saints. They just gave up, it's not a ton, but 4 catches and a receiving touchdown to James Conner. I don't know what number you would put McCaffrey as a receiver over James Conner, but I think that means 12 catches and 3 touchdowns incoming for Christian McCaffrey, the receiver in this game. I think he easily finds the end zone, and just that alone is going to propel him into the top 5 when you consider the receiving work that he is going to see in this New Orleans game.
Yeah, he's our site's consensus RB1 this week, and I don't think it's that close. Like, Bijan is what Bijan is. Like, he's a great running back. Even McCaffrey, I think he had barely 3 yards a carry last week, but when you're talking PPR formats and what he's able to do catching the football, the depleted pass catching core with the San Francisco 49ers, he is an absolute smash. And this is why you take the risk on drafting Christian McCaffrey in the first round, despite the injury concerns and the fact that he only played 4 games last year. He is capable of doing this when he is healthy. He is the legitimate RB1, and it's really not that close.
I had McCaffrey. I got real scared at that calf news on Wednesday or Thursday. And now I'm convinced that calf news was Kyle Shanahan lying on an injury report again because he looked fine. So, and it wouldn't surprise me if that actually happened. There's no
the other part of this is Mac Jones kept Jacksonville, he kept some of their players fantasy relevant last year. So I'm not in full panic mode for fantasy if Mac Jones is the quarterback.
Mac Jones came into the NFL into a system that heavily targeted the running back position. Also heavily targeted the tight end position, foreshadowing upside pick. Okay. I can't name you a single player on New Orleans defense outside of Demario Davis, and he's 37.
Cam Jordan's still there.
He's not there. He's retired. I told you this.
No, he did, really?
This past week, bro.
Yes. He had a sack. What do you mean he was retired?
He is not retired. He literally got a sack in this game. I watched it happen.
Okay, so they have 2 retirement community guys on their fucking
Joe's
defense.
having to backtrack really quick.
Yeah, like what is happening? I could have sworn Cam Jordan retired.
This is what happens when you leave for 6 weeks to go play baseball.
I travel 4 days a week, okay? I am jet lagged. I don't know what's happening, right? I'm in San Antonio tomorrow. How is this? I go to San Antonio, come back to Savannah on Monday, and then go back to Round Rock, Texas. You want to know how close they are 2 hours apart. Why am I flying back to when it's 2 hours apart?
So
anyways.
Cam Jordan actually had 2 sacks. Stat line
hell?
Coming out of retirement, Cam Jordan had 2 solo tackles and assists.
Hold on.
2 tackles for a loss, which I'm guessing are the sacks. 15 sack yards and a pass deflection, Joe.
Listen, I love Cam Jordan. I'm not one to hate on Cam Jordan. I think he's a fantastic player. But you're telling me that the NFL sack leaders are Harold Landry and Cam Jordan? That's the world we live in right now in 2025? Great. Awesome. I'm glad the Pats called 60% blitz play so Harold Landry could look like freaking Reggie White. God. Game of the week. Shocked to see the New York Jets on here. That's surprising. Maybe it's because they're playing the offensive juggernaut that is the Buffalo Bills. So, who would like to take this one, Josh?
Yeah, this is on me this week. The Bills allowed 40 points to the Ravens in week 1, including 238 rushing yards and 3 rushing touchdowns.
The
Jets put up 32 points in week 1, including 182 rushing yards and 3 rushing touchdowns. Yes, I understand that Justin Fields is not Lamar Jackson and Breece Hall certainly is not Derrick Henry, but both are plenty capable of shredding a rush defense that couldn't stop the run in week 1. But on the flip side of that, the Jets defense gave up 34 points and 4 passing touchdowns to 41-year-old Aaron Rodgers. Josh Allen led the Bills to 41 points and scored 4 total touchdowns. So 2 teams that, quote, should be good playing at defense suddenly forgot how to play defense against quality offenses. The over-under on this game is set at 46.5. You can sign me up for all kinds of offense.
Smash.
I am putting
what
money
should
on that.
Showcase over 300 rushing yards and 6 or more combined.
Smash like it's the red light district in the Netherlands. That's not even.
Wow.
There's just too many similar parallels between the opponents that these 2 teams face in week 1. Like, I don't understand how this matchup.
I mean, you've already told us the score of the game is
70
41
points total.
I'd say the score of this game is 41-32. We already know what the final is on this game.
It would not surprise me one bit. Like, I don't think that Fields and the Jets win this game, but the fact that they built this offense around running the football, which is what they should have done, and then everybody just buying so highly into Braylon Allen that Breece Hall was just going to fall off. Breece Hall had almost 5 yards of carry last week. If he scores one of those touchdowns, we're talking about him very differently this week. So you go against Buffalo, they just got fucking shredded by Derrick Henry and Lamar Jackson. They didn't need to, like, Baltimore did not need to throw the football to beat this team. No. Justin Fields isn't going to have to throw the football, but he also showed against the Steelers, who revamped their entire secondary, that he can hit the spots when he needs to, which was a far cry from what we saw from him in the preseason. So, yeah, Buffalo's going to have their hands full with the Jets, and it's on the road for Buffalo. So I think, this game is going to be a lot of fun to watch.
I will put this out there that Josh Allen does not play the best in New York. He's lost 2 of his last 3 games there, and last year they only won by a field goal.
New Jersey.
Sorry, yes, my apologies. New Jersey. How dare I?
He plays very well in New York.
He plays very well in New York. Plays really bad in New Jersey. You are correct. I'm just saying, I would not be surprised if the Jets take this one. I would not be surprised. And we also need to pump the fucking brakes on the Buffalo Bills defense. When have they had a defense? They have not. I was like, oh, Sean McDermott, defensive head coach. Look at this front 4. Yeah. Can I tell you about the back 5? Because they're all fucking stuck. Matt Milano's a shell of himself. I wish he was good. I love Matt Milano. Ed Oliver, supposed to be a run stuffer. I'm sorry. Derrick Henry stuffed you. Pause.
Well, that's what Derrick Henry does, though.
Yeah. Also, did you know Derrick Henry had 12,000 rushing yards in high school?
Yes.
Found that out. Did you know he had 135 touchdowns?
Yeah.
I knew it was some absurd number.
He had like 37 his freshman year, which was wild.
How do you average 4,000 yards a season? Yep. How is that possible?
In what is, if they count the playoffs, we're talking 14 game seasons.
Maybe a 14 game season. That's absurd.
300 yards.
I don't care who you are, what any level, that is absurd. But yeah, we need to pump the brakes on the Bills defense. I will give you that the Jets defense should potentially bounce back. They actually have some talent on that defense. I think Aaron Glenn needs to maybe focus a little more on that side of the football, but neither here nor there. It should be a decently high scoring game. Now that we say that, it's going to be 13-10.
Yep.
Nick Folk game winner.
I mean, I was going to say my game of the week pick last week still put up 41 points, but it definitely did not go the way that I thought it was going to go.
No. What game was it?
Don't
Colts
say it,
and Dolphins.
We don't have the kind of time to deal with Joe.
Oh, what do you mean?
Literally, the whole concept was 2 bad defenses, offenses should shine. Like, that was literally the whole point.
Hey, listen, you know what? We're going to talk a little bit about the Dolphins when on one of my.
I was going to say, I just knew Joe was going to give you a hard time for saying Colts and Dolphins is game of the week. So
that's okay.
I put a parlay of the all 1:00 games. I stayed away from that game. I had no clue what was going to happen. I had zero.
Certainly
idea.
Didn't know what actually happened. That was crazy.
Let me tell you, what did happen was not in the bingo card. Wasn't even close. So, all right, some audience questions here before we get into our upsides. Nino, is Kanan cooked? Do you guys think he's just silently dealing with that injury still?
I don't think he's cooked.
He's not cooked.
Yeah,
but he's certainly medium well.
I like that.
At this point.
Josh and I have said this for years. Backup running backs are supposed to be more efficient. Zach Charbonnet did exactly what he's supposed to do. I don't know that Zach Charbonnet is all that effective if he's the lead back. So right now, I think Kenneth Walker is taking the punishment. I think Zach Charbonnet is reaping the rewards. I think there are better days ahead for Kenneth Walker, but it's probably not this week against Pittsburgh.
Yeah, I think the concerning part was Charbonnet had more rush attempts than Kenneth Walker this past week. So, and I think that's really what's leading people to, maybe this really is Charbonnet's backfield, and all the talk about Kenneth Walker is overblown. I'm not ready to bail after 1 week, Like if this continues against Pittsburgh, all right, the caution lights are on for me. And if it continues through week 3, then I'm probably bailing on Kenneth Walker. But I think worst case, this is still going to be a very split, like 50-50 kind of backfield, and not the, leaning more one way to one guy like we initially thought in the preseason. He's a hold for me is really what he is.
That's fair.
Let me tell you, I am so happy. In every league I drafted Kenneth Walker, I made sure I took Zach Charbonnet. That was not even a question. So I hope some of you did that as well. I know we were talking that probably one of the best handcuffs in the league is Zach Charbonnet too. Kenneth Walker, just based off that injury history. So Trone, someone sent me trade-off Derrick Henry and Devontae Adams for Christian McCaffrey and DK Metcalf. Was going to counter with CMC and Cup. I don't believe that person takes Cup.
If they take that trade, I take it. I don't know if I take the other. I think I'd rather have CMC and DK. Well, I guess with it being full PPR,
Yeah, with it being full PPR, CMC and DK. But if you can get rid of Cooper Kupp and get Derrick Henry, Devontae 100%. Adams, sure. Yeah.
I would much rather have the CMC side. I mean, DK, his value is going to come from ultimately scoring touchdowns, because your basic week-to-week stat line with him is basically what you saw in week 1. It's going to be that 4 for, 65 to 85, and then sprinkle in a touchdown here and there. Like, the volume is going to be there 100%, but he has a career 60% catch rate. Like, he's not going to be that, 65, 67, 70% catch rate guy. So that's ultimately what you're looking at. Like, yes, Rodgers is going to pepper him. He's going to have a high target share, but the catch percent is what's going to keep him very limited with his upside in PPR leagues.
From Jeff, James Cook can't go. Ray Davis or Tony Pollard? Ryan.
Buffalo, we just talked about, has the Jets.
In New York.
I do not like Tony Pollard this week. That'll come up later. Give me Ray Davis.
Josh.
Yeah, Pollard. Who do the Titans play this week?
Don't worry, guys. I'll find it. Los Angeles Rams. Got it.
You can run on the Rams, though. You can run on the Rams.
Dude,
Nick Chubb looks cooked, and he had 60 yards against them.
Yeah, 60 yards, no touchdown. Enjoy your 6 points.
Okay, but the difference is Pollard actually catches passes. So, no, I'm not going to go with a backup running back. I'm still going to lean Pollard.
Passes. I'll
take the game that Josh just predicted is going to have 70 total points. I'll take the piece of
I will go Ray Davis. Yeah, this one feels pretty. I love Tony Pollard. I'll go Ray Davis here.
Look, if it's Cook versus Pollard, it's Cook. I'm still not going Ray Davis over Pollard. So
sure. Trone. Need 2 receivers in a flex. Tyreek Hill, Terry McLaurin, DK Metcalf, Hunter, Travis Hunter, I assume.
Hunter Renfrow.
Yeah, I was like Hunter Renfrow, Hunter Henry, Travis Hunter. Travis Hunter has to be the most. Yeah. Cooper Kupp, Jalen Warren, Ja'Cory Croskett Merritt, not Bill, and Austin Eckler.
Wild Bill, baby.
Okay.
I'm gonna go DK and Hunter for the 2 wide receivers.
What about a flex?
I thought we were gonna do the thing we always do.
No, go.
But for me, it's DK, Hunter, and Jalen Warren. I'll take the 2 Steelers this week.
Josh.
Yeah, I think I would do that as well. DK, Travis Hunter, he's primed for. He's gonna pop. These pick and pop targets that he's getting, they're eventually gonna lead to some yak and some downfield targets. He's primed. It's just so hard to ignore that target volume that he got in week 1. I feel like that's going to continue. DK offers that big playability. Jalen Warren's going to be very active this week, and I really don't like the matchup for the Commanders running backs.
I'm fine with those 3 as well. I am not as high on Hunter as they are. I'll bring up the quarterback in the downside section, but a quarterback can have a bad week and the receiver can still have 100 yards. Like that's a very well-known stat. The quarterback could be outside the top 20 and the receiver could be top 10. So I will take it that, Travis Hunter's seeing a bad secondary and he could still have a good day. Moving on to Andrea. Need a kicker.
What?
No, sorry.
No, need one.
Need one.
K. Walker.
Oh.
Listen,
I'm not looking at
Listen.
the screen. I'm working on my rankings.
no.
I was like, wait, what?
But if you read it, it says need one, capital K. It's like, all right, you need a
I
kicker.
see. You need one kicker.
And then I saw Bill. I'm like, there's no kicker named Bill.
There should be.
So Kenneth Walker, Ja'Cory, or Bayshall.
Oh, give me Bill all day long from this group.
Right? It's got to be.
Yeah, with these
What a good
options, I think
matchup.
it's going to have to be Bill. Like my head is still telling me Kenneth Walker because I'm not ready to bail yet. And the Packers defense looks absolutely legit. Like I don't think Krosky Merritt is going to have that kind of like pop that he did in week 1. But
I can't wait to November where that defense is just absolutely in shambles. I can't wait. I can't wait for the Packers meltdown that happens every single year. 12-4, week 1 of the playoffs. Dud.
Yeah.
See ya. That's every year. Thank you.
Yeah, it's Bill this week.
Do you know Jordan Love is 7th all time in passing touchdowns for the Packers?
I believe that.
What? 7th? He's been in the league 2 years. That's crazy.
Well, stop and think. I mean, really, the 2 most prolific passing touchdown guys have been Favre and Rodgers, and everybody else, they're older and didn't throw as many touchdowns.
Back in the day was there for
like
it's
before
Rodgers, Favre, Star, 3 schmucks, and Jordan Love.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Like,
no,
he has like 60 touchdowns.
I'm aware.
I think,
aware. It just doesn't make sense. Just doesn't make sense.
Yeah, it raised my eyebrows, Joe.
Yeah, just doesn't make sense. They were talking about Aaron Judge moving up to 5th on the home run record list, and the list is legit. Like it's Babe Ruth, Mickey Mantle, Lou Gehrig. It's like, yeah, good names. Joe DiMaggio. 4 and 5 on the Packers list are some just schlubs. Like they're nobody. So it's just funny. K Quicks, thoughts on Stafford this season? Should I switch up and risk like Darnold or Rodgers, maybe even Daniel Jones in a super flex? If you have Stafford as the second quarterback, I'm okay with running any of the other 3 as your other quarterback.
Yeah, I'm not. I was never putting a lot of faith in Stafford. Don't drop him. We don't drop starting quarterbacks in Superflex. But your starters should probably be Darnold and Rodgers moving forward.
Let Danny Dimes cook. Honestly, let him cook.
Oh my God, I was reading that as Mac Jones.
I'm like, wait a second. Darnold? Seriously?
Not Darnold. No, I'm like,
what now? Like, I'm not ready to give up on Stafford. Stafford has way better weapons. He's going to throw the football. Like, look, it's 1 week. The Texans have a legit defense. I'm not worried about them one bit.
Do they?
They do.
Do they?
Well, let's go on the assumption that this is Daniel Jones, though. With that
rushing upside, Daniel Jones, I'm starting Stafford and Daniel Jones because I want that rushing upside
over Rodgers,
and I want a passing floor. Like Rodgers, people are falling in love with Rodgers based on a revenge week. In my opinion,
Stafford is not his starter. He is his super flex. So it would be replacing Stafford in the super flex.
Okay.
As far as I can understand from this, because there's no way
5 starting quarterbacks on this roster, which is amazing.
Yeah, try to package some of these and get some improvements.
Yeah, maybe try to turn 3 of them into a real quarterback.
Yeah, I mean, right? Like, honestly, like if I could trade Daniel Jones and Rodgers, like package Rodgers because of that big game and go get like a Justin Fields, I would do that in a heartbeat because somebody, and then you have Stafford, Fields, you still have Darnold. Like that's a break glass and emergency quarterback in Superflex that I'm okay with. But I don't want Darnold anywhere near my starting lineup.
Daniel Jones, let him cook. Only quarterback with 250 passing yards and 2 rushing touchdowns in week 1 of the NFL season, NFL history, fun fact. So
Penix is his starter.
Penix is his starter. That's fine. I thought Michael Penix was fine. I think that's great.
He was fine.
Yeah. Ride with Big Penis and Danny Dimes. Like that's what's wrong with that?
Yeah, we're liking him as long as Drake London's healthy. I'm a little concerned with unhealthy Drake London.
Yeah. Okay. JT or Bucky Irving this week. JT is at home against Denver, and Bucky is on the road in Houston. Ryan.
I'm going to go JT. I like both of these backs. They're both actually in my top 10. What a choice to make. Who the hell is your other running back? But I'll start JT.
Yeah, it's JT for me this week.
Yeah, Jonathan Taylor.
Probably start both. Who in the world is your other running back unless you somehow only start one?
I mean,
this could be a shallow
me draft.
League. I mean,
yeah,
this is a me draft. Yeah. which is weird because I actually didn't go 3 running backs in any of my leagues this year because I wasn't set.
That's your body.
How about this? I went CeeDee Lamb, Puka Nacua in one league because I had the middle pick and CeeDee Lamb fell to 5, and by some fucking reason Puka Nacua fell to 16.
I helped a friend draft, Joe. We didn't get Puka in the turn, but we did at 7 got CeeDee Lamb, and we're like, how do we not take that? So
I sat there. I'm like, I'm either gonna reach on Ashton Genty because CMC was gone, or I'm just gonna take CeeDee Lamb. So I let it fall. Like I said, we always say, have your plan, but don't be afraid to deviate from it.
Yep.
Okay, couple more before we get into our upsides. Carrington, start 1. Pearsall, Adunze, Quentin Johnston. Ryan.
I'll go Pearsall. I think against New Orleans, even with him being the only weapon, he's going to be just fine, even if it's Mac Jones.
Josh.
I love QJ this week.
It's fair.
I really do. But honestly, I like all 3 of these guys. I mean, Pearsall is going to be fine. Mac Jones he kept BTJ relevant and actually probably made BTJ relevant considering how bad BTJ's been with T-Law. Odunze caught I don't want to call it garbage time, but caught the 4th quarter touchdown. And I mean, QJ just scores touchdowns. Like at this point, it's like, stop denying the guy. Like they're finally scheming him the way that TCU schemed him, which made him a 1st-round pick. And like, that's what we've been saying about QJ. And he figured out how to catch the football.
The ball and
when the ball hits his hands, he holds onto it.
They caught it 1 week. They'd always been scheming him that way. He just dropped it. Okay. Him and CeeDee Lamb changed bodies for a day.
For a half.
Pretty much. What do we think of Keon Coleman? If he's going to get targeted.
I was going to say, I like the kid. I liked him a lot as a personality. I did not like his game last year, his inability to separate, but if the targets are flowing his way, I'm all in.
I mean, I have no issues with it. My big thing was him and Josh Palmer basically playing the same position. So it was just kind of a coin flip was
who's going
to win that battle, right? Like they were all 3 of those guys, including Shakir. They had plenty of targets. They saw plenty of routes. Keon Coleman led this team in routes run in week 1, had the receptions, had the fluke touchdown, had the yards, obviously. But he still cannot separate. Like dead ass cannot separate at all. That is going to catch up to him as the season goes on because even as a jump ball wide receiver, he's very mediocre at that.
Well, and Josh Allen doesn't make those passes. That's not who he is. So
yeah, I just like, to me, you're living life dangerously with Keon Coleman.
If there's a zone heavy team, you have to look at defensive schemes. If there's a zone heavy team, Keon Coleman, fine, all day. Now, I will say the one caveat is if he's playing the fucking New England Patriots and they're just going to run engage 8 all the time, I think Keon Coleman can beat a 3rd-string Division III cornerback that the New England Patriots employ. So that one might be okay. But if there's a team that runs a zone-heavy scheme, like for the longest time, I think the Chiefs have changed. But they ran a zone-heavy scheme because McDuffie could not cover one-on-one. He came in as a zone corner. They've changed a little bit. But if you see the Bills play the Chiefs, fine. The Chiefs tend to play a lot of zone, which is where Keon Coleman's going to be fine.
That's the Gabe Davis 4-touchdown game. So.
Exactly. Gabe Davis sucks in man, but he's fine on in zone. All right, here we go. Upside picks. Get ready, folks. It's exciting. Josh said, "Don't worry about the records." Good call, Josh. We always have bad upside records because we're like, oh, this guy's top 12 and he ends up being 13.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's like what? And then Ryan.
I went soft this week.
Ryan's a guaranteed L 80% of the time on his 2 touchdown specials. So.
Yeah, baby.
Okay.
We like to have fun, but at there's reasons behind it.
As long as my guy scores 1 this year, every game, that's all I care about. Don't make me look like a fool.
Josh, you have James Conner top 12 against Carolina. We hope so. God, we hope so. And then you're highlighted George Pickens 15+ against the Giants.
Yeah, with Pickens, I mean, he put up a dud in week 1, which that was one of my big calls last week. I said he wasn't going to do well. But the Giants got absolutely shredded by the Commanders and their wide receiver 2, Deebo Samuel, in week 1. We know Dak Prescott's going to throw it. And with all the talk about Pickens not being in, running lazy routes, all these things, they need to get his head involved. And so they need to get him involved early and often. The fact that the Cowboys' offensive line performed better than I expected should provide Prescott a lot more time to get Pickens over that 15-point mark and likely into the end zone. The Giants pass rush is legit. Like, they got pressure on Jaden Daniels.
I know.
Dak Prescott cannot move the way that Jaden Daniels can. So
I'm not going to say I was saying that all offseason that the Giants might have one of the best pass rushers in the NFL, but they look pretty damn good.
You weren't mad when he had 2 sacks in the first half.
No, Brian, he didn't play a lot in the second half. What I saw, I felt like he was kind of sprinkled in there from what I could see. But yeah, the Giants have a legit pass rush. That is a for real front four. I say front four because Micah McFadden is now hurt again. Yep. The front seven kind of took a little ding there, but he was not a big pass rusher. That Dexter Lawrence, Abdul Carter, Brian Burns, that trio that's for real. That might be the best in the league by the end of the season. Ryan, the 2 touchdown special goes to Kieran Williams in Tennessee. Shout out. And Jalen Warren, 15+ against the Seahawks.
Yeah, this feels like a little bit of a cop-out, but it's still a good fantasy week, so I'm going to take it. CMC just caught 9 balls against Seattle last week, and that is Warren's role in the offense. It didn't quite come to fruition in week 1. I'll get to that in a second. But when you look, last year, Seattle gave up 22 points per game to running backs. The year before that, they were a team you targeted for running backs. Last week, they gave up 30 PPR points to the running back position. While Warren only caught 2 balls last week, he did find the end zone. And I think that's something that he's going to be able to do this week again, is find the end zone. He also led the backfield in carries and led the backfield in total yards. He had 14 fantasy points this week. I think we see improvement against a worse defense. And again, so 15+ I think is a good week for Jalen Warren, someone you might be considering as your RB2.
All right. Now, my first that I get to say on air for the season. Wow, this is fun, guys. Jake Tongas. Why not? Tight end. Why not? Tight end, San Francisco. I feel it helps my case that Mac Jones is the quarterback now because Tongas had rapport with Mac Jones. He was thrown as the backup.
Yep, practice field rapport.
Yeah. And then Kayshon Boutte,
yep,
who I was saying is going to be the best receiver in New England this season. No one listens to me. All right. Whatever happened to the Dolphins in the offseason, please let it happen for the rest of eternity. Because it is so funny. So funny when the Dolphins are bad.
I think
not just bad, comedically bad. So I was at the bar because we're on the road. Don't have Red Zone channel. Went to the bar with some coworkers. The Dolphins game was not on in our vicinity. Like, there's a bunch of games on. Dolphins game was not on in our vicinity. And I opened my phone. It was like halfway through the first quarter. I'm like, why is it 14-0? Like, why am I not seeing this on my television? And by halftime, it was 33-0 or whatever it was. I was like, what the hell is happening in this game that Daniel Jones is ruining them? And for as horrible as the Patriots looked last week, only bright spot was Kayshon Boutte. And Travion Henderson actually looks like he could be a legit running back. There was some explosiveness. But Kayshon Boutte was the only bright spot. And if Kayshon Boutte is running routes against Storm Duck, I have full confidence that Kayshon...
I thought he got hurt and he's out for a few games.
Oh, he is. You're right. He's in red. He is out. So he gets, hear me out.
He's like a 4th-string corner right now.
Rasul Douglas.
Yeah. The haggard
off
corpse.
The street, Rasul Douglas.
Yep, the haggard corpse of Rasul Douglas.
Let me read you the Dolphins secondary right now. Okay? Here's their healthy corners. Jack Jones, fine. Juju Brents, Rasul Douglas. Those are their healthy cornerbacks.
So they're likely to bring another guy in off the street for this week.
And then 5th-round rookie Jason Marshall's the nickel, but he won't see the nickel, so that's why I didn't bring him up. They have 3 healthy defensive backs.
It's so bad.
So if the Patriots can't win this week, like I said,
I was going to say, and Tua has never lost to New England.
He has not. That's why I'm like, if we lose this week, then we just can't beat him. And I'll accept that for life, that we can't beat him and we can't win in Miami. Those 2 things will forever reign true, right? Even in the Brady era, I would say 15-1 we lose every year in Miami. I don't know what it is. Anyways, looking at the questions, got nothing on the questions. Perfect. All right. As always, about halfway through, like, subscribe on the YouTube, Apple, Spotify podcasts. Hit the follow button, please, and thank you. Discord popping off as well. You can find the link in the description. And for my peoples that want some fun merchandise, I'll take this one, Josh. Don't you worry. I'll keep it wrapped up in a bow, nice and sweet. Trophy Smack. You've heard about them. You love them. Maybe you don't. Maybe somebody gave you a gift and you're like, what the hell is this? And it's just a poop. But really good stuff. I don't know. Don't they have loser trophies,
Yeah,
right?
the loser trophies.
Yeah, so I'm saying maybe you don't like them, but you're like, oh wow, this is really cool. I want to give this to somebody else. Trophiesmack.com. And you can find a lot of stuff for commissioners. And then as we get towards the end of the season, obviously some fun stuff that you want to give to your winners. And of course, potentially your losers. And I do see a question that was just dropped in there. And also the URL, as I see here, trophiesmack.com / club fantasy. You can check it out all right there. And we were talking about this week. Because I was saying, it's I haven't been on since July or something like that. And I was like, why don't you hop in here? Why don't you ask this question? So question for Ryan. How did it feel to lose to me last week? Knowing every time I showed some of my draft picks, they physically cringed. Me, I was there. I watched that draft happen.
The physically cringed part makes it a little bit rougher. I thought I had that game in the bag, and then James fucking Cook and Zay Flowers bent me over for Emma and took over in that game. That was one where I went to bed thinking I had a win and woke up very sad.
I watched that draft. I watched the draft happen, and I think James Cook went in the third round. I'm like, why did you do that? And he's like, it's Georgia. Like, that was it. Okay, great. Awesome. Zay Flowers. We all know I don't like Zay Flowers.
Yeah, I didn't think she did terrible at the draft from what I remember. I knew
it wasn't horrible.
It was a good draft. I wouldn't have physically cringed, but I guess it doesn't matter when you beat me. Emma, fair warning, as I pointed out in the chat, I am the worst listener league manager that has ever existed. You guys just beat up on me every year, and it seems that is continuing.
Oh, can we talk about how I beat Josh in Dynasty this week and was the high-scoring team?
Yeah.
Look out, boys.
Can I tell you, I have some
Love
of my most stacked Dynasty teams that absolutely shit the bed this week because all of the big stars like, Nico, Chase, AJ Brown,
guys,
fucking duds. And I'm like, oh.
And my team of old men just keep putting it down.
All I'm saying is I watch my team and I'm like, we might have some players here. Don't ask me about my bench, all right? If any of them get hurt, it is gonzo. Nothing's gonna happen. But I like what I got going on there in Dynasty now this year. We'll see. This is week 1, so week 1 overreaction. Moving on to the downsides. This was actually a decent week for the boys on the downsides here. Josh, you have Nick Chubb under 50 rushing yards against Tampa Bay, notorious for having a stingy run defense.
Yep. And
Nick Chubb for basically being dead. And Daniel Jones outside the top 20 against Denver. Ooh, I see. Here's not that Daniel Jones is just ass, but I love that Josh took my approach to the downsides. Is a shitty player who did really well. Let's not overhype him. So I love this approach. Go for it, Josh.
Yeah, I mean, and that's really what this is. I mean, Daniel Jones coming off of 2 rushing touchdowns, 250 passing yards. That Dolphins defense is absolute trash. Denver on the flip side, really fucking good. Yes, Denver has to travel to Indy. So sure, traveling never fun. Joe, you can attest to that. But Denver isn't the kind of sieve of a defense that Miami is, and they just beat up on a rookie quarterback, and Daniel Jones makes decisions like a rookie quarterback. So I have full faith that Denver is absolutely going to swallow him up, and people are going to kind of regret blowing some of their fab on Daniel Jones. But at least for this week, I mean, if you're streaming quarterbacks, it's never that fun. But Daniel Jones, there's going to be better days ahead when you have the kind of rushing floor that Daniel Jones has. Yeah. That plays season long, but this matchup this week against Denver, just not it for him.
To Josh's point, I didn't even put Daniel Jones in my top 5 for streams. I don't trust him this week either against that defense. So.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I'm sorry. I was trying to find my stats on Daniel Jones last week, and I was just intrigued again. Ryan, clean sweep last week, 2-0. I know, Josh, don't bring up the records. I'm gonna bring them up if they're good. Which is Ryan and I. We were both 2-0 last week. All right. I'll bring up what we got. We have the no touchdown special goes to Tony P, which is why we're not starting him this week. Yeah. And Zay Flowers not top 20 against Cleveland. That is bold, in my opinion.
Yeah. I realized it, and it's funny. It all started with a joke that Josh and I made on the Monday show, or maybe the Tuesday show, where someone asked us about Zay Flowers, and we both said we would start somebody over Zay Flowers, and I'm like, this is the wide receiver 1 last week. I don't care. Cleveland's defense just slowed down Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase, and T. Higgins. The Ravens are going to need to get it done some other way. I went back and looked at Zay Flowers' history against this Cleveland defense. 4 catches for 65 yards on average in his 4 games against Cleveland. And he has never scored a touchdown against the Cleveland Browns. He does have one big game. It was week 8 last year, but the rest were 3 duds. I think this is going to the same exact route. I don't think they're going to be able to just chuck it to Zay Flowers against this Cleveland defense, which has far better secondary than, as Joe has pointed out, far better secondary than the Buffalo Bills, far better front 7 than the Buffalo Bills. This is a very different defense. Expect a very different game out of Zay Flowers this week.
Boom. All right. Before I bring up my 2 this week, I just want to say how beautifully the rookie quarterback in Denver played out for me last week.
Loved it.
Holy hell. There were 2 quarterbacks that scored lower than Cam Ward last week. Jalen Milroe had 1 rushing yard, and Zach Wilson. Cam Ward was the lowest scoring starting quarterback in the NFL last week. Now, I want to preface this by saying, I didn't think overall Cam Ward actually looked horrible.
Didn't look awful at all.
He didn't look horrible, but
he's just overmatched.
Yep,
Yeah,
100%,
that's really all it was.
100% overmatched.
But that's going to come up in my stream of the week this week on how badly Cam Ward got beat up last week. So.
When I tell you that first start in Denver, rookie quarterback, week 1, I have been saying that since he was drafted.
Yeah.
I promise you that one's almost ironclad on how often that works. I can only recall one time where that has not worked for me. And I will get off that. But Javonte Williams, I'm taking Josh's approach. Bad player doing one good week and then not doing it again against the Giants. The only thing that might bite me here is Micah McFadden not playing. He was their run stuffer, but I am choosing to believe in Sexy Dexy in the front 4 of the Giants. He's outside the top 20. And Trevor Lawrence outside the top 24 against the Cincinnati Bengals.
I did not even look at the sheet to know that you put him that far down. That's wild.
Bold considering the Bengals defense still sucks, but okay.
How bad's the Carolina Panthers defense?
Pretty bad too.
Touché.
He had 10 points against them.
Yeah, that's fair.
He had 10 points against the Carolina. Oh, he also threw a pick against them, by the way. He had 10 points against the Carolina Panthers. Trevor Lawrence is not good. Let's get this out of the way. Trevor Lawrence is not a good quarterback. The fact you can only put up 26 points, and 4 of them were 12 points were field goals. Tack on another 2 for extra points. 14 of your 26 points. That feels like wrong math there. But, right? No, that is correct, because then 2 touchdowns.
4 field goals, 2 extra points.
Yeah,
yes,
no, that's correct.
14.
Sorry, I was thinking plus 7. 14 of your 26 points were field goals against the Carolina Panthers.
You're not wrong.
That's what I'm saying. I'm not wrong. If this game was in Jacksonville, I'd feel a little differently. Okay? If it was in Jacksonville, I'd feel a little differently. This game is in Cincinnati. So obviously going on the road. The only thing that might bite me in the ass here, Bengals could go up 28-0 by halftime.
And
that's a very real possibility. And at that point, they're not running the football. Trevor Lawrence.
Speaking of bad looking offenses, the Bengals did not look good in week 1.
No, they don't look good. But that's the Bengals every year. They look horrible in the first 2 weeks.
Yeah. So apparently playing their starters in the preseason really didn't matter.
No, of course not. Why would that matter? But I mean, I've said this for a while. I don't think Trevor Lawrence is that good of a quarterback.
Yeah, you've been on that for a while.
31 pass attempts. He had 12 rushing yards. What has he shown you that he's going to be able to do that? We said last year, if you can't play against Carolina, you can't play against anybody.
You're not wrong.
Carolina
We said run against Carolina. That was
okay.
Thing,
regardless,
I did talk last week that I said that BTJ wasn't going to have a good week. JC Horn shut him down.
Yeah, JC Horn's a good corner, but he's also known to give up a lot of big plays.
Yeah, 100%.
JC Horn is.
They have no pass rush notoriously to help.
Agreed.
At
but
all.
Tell me this: Travis Hunter beat him on the route that JC Horn caught the interception on. What did Trevor Lawrence do? Underthrew him. Yeah. JC Horn made a great interception. I'm not taking that away from him. That was an unbelievable interception. But if Trevor Lawrence actually led Travis Hunter over the shoulder, that's a 70-yard touchdown. And that we're all celebrating Travis Hunter as the Heisman winner. And, oh, my God, look at this guy. Trevor Lawrence missed him. I think 24 is aggressive. I'm going to give you that. But why I kept 24 is because I put Cam Ward outside the top 24 last week.
Okay.
So I'm going as aggressive as I possibly can until it doesn't work, which is probably going to be week 3. But we're gonna see what happens. I don't like Trevor Lawrence this week. I don't like him at all. That's what we're gonna keep it.
Clearly.
Audience questions. Evan, Kenneth Walker, or Hollywood Brown? This feels like a clean sweep Hollywood Brown.
Hollywood Brown, baby.
Yeah, I am not a Hollywood Brown fan. That's a clean sweep.
Joe hates Hollywood Brown,
especially against the Philly secondary. But I mean, even CD Lamb showed like they can be beaten. And
CD Lamb should have had 200 yards.
Yeah, he really should have.
He should have had 200 yards.
So, but yeah, like when they don't throw against Quinyon Mitchell, they can be beaten. So Hollywood the Hollywood's not going to see a ton of Quinyon Mitchell, in my opinion, and they're going to move around enough, and they don't have anybody else to throw to. So he's probably going to see another 14 targets in this game.
Jalen Royals and Xavier Worthy. They didn't practice. Jalen Royals and Xavier Worthy didn't practice. So it's Hollywood Brown.
Yeah, Worthy's not playing. There's no fucking way Worthy plays for at least the next 3 weeks.
I'm just reading the injury report.
Yeah.
I was like, okay. So the wide receiver 2 and 3 effectively
is Juju.
Play. Oh, God.
Yeah. Has there ever been a wide receiver core that Joe hates more than Hollywood Brown and Juju Smith-Schuster?
Rashee Rice redeems that. There is the redeeming quality of that entire receiver room. Holy hell. I forgot Juju Smith-Schuster was employed.
He caught like 5 balls last week.
I know. I saw that, and I forgot until this moment when Josh said Juju's on the roster. I forgot he was employed. That's crazy. Oh, sorry. K-Quicks. Sorry. I think this kind of fits into the Kyle Pitts season that I accidentally highlighted. I need a tight end if Ingram don't go. Pitts and Tongas, Strange and Ertz are out there, but I would have to drop Golden, Keenan Allen, or Calvin Austin. How deep is your league? You have Calvin Austin on your team, or do I drop Evan Ingram? I know we might spoil the stream of the week here.
Yeah, I do have Strange ahead of Pitts now. If we don't see Drake London, I think that benefits Pitts, so that could change things a little bit.
Honestly, I would lean Pitts here. I wouldn't drop Ingram, though. I like Calvin Austin. I'm not going to buy completely in after 1 week. If you need a streaming tight end, drop Calvin Austin and go grab Pitts.
I mean, I hate to say this. I don't know if anybody's running to get Keenan Allen off the waiver wire. That's normally how I look at this, is if I drop this person, is somebody going to sprint to the waiver wire to pick them up? I don't think anybody's sprinting to pick up Keenan Allen. I think people will overreact to sprinting to Calvin Austin because he's young.
They'll let him.
They were both kind of the same fab range this past week. I would hold Keenan Allen because I love him. And
I do too.
I'm someone who told you to go get Calvin Austin because I do think there's a role in that offense for Calvin Austin. But if this is a full PPR league, I would go Allen. If it's half PPR, maybe Austin.
I still think that people are going to I like the upside that Calvin Austin brings, but we're still talking about an Arthur Smith offense.
Yeah.
Calvin Austin is going to, this may be the legitimately only pop week that Calvin Austin has all season long.
Yeah.
I said maybe. It's going to be very run heavy. This was the revenge game for Rodgers. This was the comeback. This was the stick it to the Jets. There's going to be some games where, yes, he probably has to throw to keep this team in. But when you look at the tight ends, they're the targets and Jaylen Warren. Calvin Austin is 5th in line there. That's not somebody that I'm really going to prioritize. Yeah.
I love the stick it to the Jets narrative. What do you mean? They hired everybody you asked them to hire. Mm-hmm. They fired the coach you asked them to fire.
Yeah. Yep. But the coach that they brought in said, we don't want you. So that's why it's stick it to the Jets.
You didn't even want to be there, you fuck. What? God, I hate Aaron Rodgers.
He's a bad person.
I hate him so much. But then, so Kyle Pitts season, as Ryan mentioned, or Josh mentioned, somebody, if Drake London's out, this heavily benefits Kyle Pitts, obviously. I am looking.
Yeah, Raheem Morris came out and said that he expects Drake London to play. But the thing, and I talked about this in the offseason, that I'm not ready to give up on Pitts yet. It's a contract year. I think that there was a lot of rapport between him and Michael Penix. Penix seemed very willing and interested. I need to get Kyle Pitts the football. And I mean, he had 8 catches this past 7 or 8 catches in week 1. Yeah, yes, I understand. It was only 59 yards. That's a typical tight end stat line.
That's
a good tight end one.
That's
tight
a
end
good.
PPR
That's my
line.
point. So like now you throw in a a touchdown here and there. Like he'll sprinkle in 3, 4, maybe 5. Maybe he hits that career high in touchdowns this year. He'll end up being a top 10 tight end. Like I'm not out on Pitts simply because the draft price this year made it okay to be in on Pitts.
Yeah.
Because in previous years, everybody was hyping him up that we just knew it wasn't going to pay off. But this year, the draft price was so much lower. I am perfectly fine buying into Kyle Pitts this year.
I'll give the caveat on Pitts. He is going into Minnesota Sunday Night Football. That is not an easy place to play. That's probably one of the best home field advantages. Yes, I'm saying that because I've been in that arena. It gets loud, and they set up in a fantastic environment. And if you watched any of Brian Flores' defense, holy hell, does he disguise things incredibly well.
Yeah,
they did well against
They did well against the tight ends last week in Chicago, but last year Minnesota struggled against the tight end. So
yeah, I mean their safeties are old as hell and they don't have a coverage linebacker. So like that 100%. So he's saying assume Mooney and London play. Even you don't even assume Mooney plays. If London plays, if Mooney plays, that obviously
wait. If you have Hunter Henry,
no, 2 different people, guys. You're getting confused. 2 different people on Twitch. They're making the same decision.
Oh, okay. I was like, wait a second.
Yeah, Luxor have to decide between Pitts, Henry, Hunter Henry.
You're starting Hunter Henry.
Hunter Henry. Lux starting Hunter Henry, and then Quicks is talking about like Booty is also. Why is Kayshon Boutte on the waiver wire?
Yeah, you might want to drop Allen for the tight end and drop Austin for Kayshon Boutte.
For Kayshon Boutte. Yeah. Why is he on the waiver wire? I mean this wholeheartedly. Yes, he was a 6th round pick. Yes, he did nothing his first year. He is the wide receiver 1 on the New England Patriots. And he's come out and said, remember why I was a 6th round pick is because I got hurt and he had some off-field issues. That's why he was a 6th round pick. Kayshon Boutte was being touted as a top wide receiver in that class. Mm-hmm. He's legit. So
he is good.
He's legit. He is a wide receiver 1. He should not be on the waivers. I agree with Ryan with what Ryan just said. Drop Allen and Austin, go get the tight end, and go get Kayshon Boutte. Please and thank you.
Yes.
From Louis Guan. Thanks for all the great info. You're welcome. Full PPR, 2 receivers and a flex. Terry McLaurin, Ricky Pearsall. That's the smash start, I think, for all of us here. Keon Coleman, Keenan Allen, Hollywood Brown. I know the 2 that we will all say is Ricky Pearsall and Hollywood Brown. Those are the 2 automatics.
Yep.
Who are we putting as the flex, Ryan?
I'll probably go Terry McLaurin here, just a little bit easier to trust.
Josh.
I know he didn't have a great week last week, but
I'm fine going Pearsall, Hollywood, and Keenan Allen, honestly.
I almost pivoted to Keenan Allen. It's a great matchup for Allen this week.
The Chargers seem to want to throw the football. Like, I'm going to believe them. Shit. And they get the Raiders. Like, you can do a lot of different things against the Raiders. You can run. You can throw. They're just letting Herbert sling it at this point. Like, they're going to let, like, Amari and Hampton, he's just going to get the tough yards. He's not going to be anything great, in my opinion, at least for a little bit until he breaks a long run. Because, I still think his vision is very questionable. He's going to grind it out and keep the chains moving, but they're going to move the football through the air. And they've got 3 pretty damn good wide receivers to do it. So again, this is PPR. Give me the guys that are going to catch a ton of passes. It's Keenan, it's Hollywood, and it's Pearsall.
Well, Louis, not to contradict, because I was going to say Keon Coleman. I will go with Keenan Allen as the 3rd option. I'm fine with that. Keenan Allen historically cooks the Raiders.
Yep.
So if he can do that again in his old age, that would be fantastic. All right, getting into now our stream of the weeks. Ryan, go for it.
Yeah, it was a pretty good week last week. Let's see if we can. Actually, I take that back. It was a pretty mediocre week last week. The guys I'm about to mention
immediately recanted.
Yeah, well, I was misremembering that it was a good week for the guys who I'm about to tell you. It was a mediocre week for the guys I picked last week. Week 1's always hard. Get off my back. Let's get into it. Week 2 streams of the week, all available in about 50% of ESPN leagues. At quarterback, give me Aaron Rodgers. No, it's not a revenge game, but he balled out last week. 4 touchdown passes. Now he gets a Seattle team that gives up passing yards to everybody. Running backs, wide receivers, tight ends. Do you know who Aaron Rodgers likes to throw to? everybody. And it's a DK Metcalf revenge game.
Everybody.
Should be a good one. Tight end, I'm going to go with Brenton Strange down there in Jacksonville. He's taking on Cincinnati Bengals. The Bengals struggled against tight ends last week. It's the reason you know who Harold Fannin is right now. Strange was targeted 4 times and found the end zone. I think he could easily repeat that this week. And for defense and special teams, I'm going with the Rams taking on the Tennessee Titans. The Rams front 7 did exactly what we expected them to do. 3 sacks, 7 QB hits. Cam Ward against Denver, 6 sacks, 14 hits. That kid is going to need a lot of ice after the first 2 weeks in the NFL. This is a tough matchup. We pick on rookie quarterbacks. Give me the Rams. Those are your week 2 streams of the week. Full article available tomorrow.
Well, I don't disagree. The Rams did well. Jared Verse did nothing, which I hated because I have him as an IDP.
Yeah, right.
Well,
Plus, I feel like when you look at that Titans offensive line, like the premium pieces that they got, they're so much better at run blocking than pass blocking.
Oh, extremely.
Which scares me because Cam Ward wants to sling it. And Callahan's system is not built for 400 plus, 450 plus rush attempts. Like that's just not his scheme.
Well, maybe they get better. Who knows? Maybe
or they get a new.
I was shocked when I saw 14 QB hits in one game. I didn't get to see a lot of that game last week. That was not a stat I was ready to see.
All over him. Yeah. All over him. Nick Benito.
I also just want to give a quick shout out. Ryan, you're short on the streams of the week that you uploaded last week, over 1,400 views. So appreciate everybody for hitting that.
Yeah, it's pretty much the only short we put together every week. It was something where I was making it as a video, and then I realized I would just do it on this show and cut it into a short. We'll tell the story. You guys have been great recently. You've all been great, let me be clear. But we've picked up a lot of viewers recently. Last year, I don't think my 17 stream of the week videos hit 1,400 views, and we did that in week 1. So I appreciate you guys.
Hell yeah, baby. Hell yeah. X traded J.K. Dobbins, Tyreek Hill, Javonte Williams for Josh Jacobs. Thoughts?
Good Lord. I don't laugh like it's a bad trade. That's just a lot for one player.
That's fine by me.
You picked up 2 roster
right
spots
now,
as well.
You're not. Jacobs is just more dominant than right now. He's the best player of this trade, and that's what
J.K. Dobbins is going to lose his job in the next 3 weeks. We saw a lot of juice out of R.J. Harvey this past week. Javonte Williams, as Joe has already pointed out, is going to fall apart, and Tyreek Hill's cooked. You got the best player in this trade by far.
Team now is Kyler Murray, Bucky Irving, Josh Jacobs, Malik Neighbors, Ricky Pearsall, Omarion Hampton, Isaiah Pacheco, Justin Fields, Dalton Kincaid, Nick Chubb, George Pickens.
Great.
Yeah, you're fine. You're fine. Yeah, and you have those extra roster spots because, I mean, let's be honest, those other guys weren't going to do much for you later down the line anyways.
Yep.
All right, Underdog Props. Sign up using the promo code WOFF. Claim your free pick first-time deposit up to $1,000 in bonus cash. Josh won last week. Ryan didn't, so make sure you don't parlay the two together.
Thanks, Joe.
You're welcome. We always do Thursday Night Football props here on the Wednesday show. So, Thursday night, Romeo Doubs. Longest reception is higher than 19.5 yards. That is Josh's pick.
Yeah, they're using them for the deep ball right now, which, I mean, that's what this offense is. It's just they're spreading it around and they're going to take their shots. Dobbs hit it last week. Somebody's going to hit it this week. I'll bet on Dobbs.
Can we talk about Christian Watson's $13.5 million extension?
Yeah,
what the heck? What are we doing? What are we doing? Why? What did you have 7 Christian Watsons on the roster. Why do you need him?
That's a great way to word it.
Hey, what are you doing? You just drafted a Christian Watson in the first round. What are you doing?
Someone has to give the tours of the medical facility.
Apparently, like
hilarious.
They need him for the bike ride in preseason where they walk with the. Oh my god! So I saw that and I was like, what did he do? Did he do anything this past week? Did he even play this past week?
What you don't know is it was a 13-year contract for 13 games because that's about what he's going to play over that period.
God. And then, Ryan, you have Zach Ertz higher than 32.5 receiving yards. I was debating putting this in my parlay, but I didn't feel confident about it.
Yeah, I'll be honest. I didn't like anything for this game because of how well these defenses both kind of looked last week. The one thing I wanted to look at was what did people give up? Sam Laporta had 79 yards. Zach Ertz had 5 targets, I think it was. He didn't do much in the yardage, but he doesn't need to do much in the yardage to hit this over. So.
Here's my ding-dong parlay that I have, just in case anybody was wondering. Bobby Wagner over 8.5 total tackles. Okay. Noah Brown under 23.5 receiving yards. And a Tucker Kraft anytime touchdown. Fuck it.
I always get nervous with the Noah Brown pick wants something they can do on one catch, and you're betting the under.
Honestly, those are the ones I win more than anything. I took the over on Xavier Hutchinson's receiving yards prop last week.
Oh no, Josh. What I'm saying though is he's picking the under.
Picking the under.
The under,
Yeah. Oh, I'm well aware. I was just like, it's Thursday night. They're not gonna play well, right? It'd be horrible. Okay. Some questions. Real quick, we were talking about Christian Watson. Yes, he's the only big body X receiver. Too bad he's never on the field.
A broken body.
Yeah, a broken body. Yeah. Jacoby Myers, Javonte Williams, or David Montgomery. This is pretty easy Jacoby Myers for me.
Yeah, I was going to say,
yeah.
Unless this is standard, maybe I'll go Monty in that situation, but
I wouldn't even go Monty. I would go Williams over Monty.
Yeah, that's a good point too.
I'm telling you, everything that I said about Detroit looked exactly like that in week 1.
Yeah.
Jared Goff with a offensive coordinator that's not Sean McVay or Ben Johnson. Do you know his record?
0-73.
0-19-1. That's not a joke.
Oh, I was fucking joking. Oh my God.
he has not.
If you remember, he lost every single start his rookie season with Jeff Fisher.
I forgot about that.
He has not won a single game.
That's
where
wild.
Sean McVay or Ben Johnson is not his OC.
I 100% said Ofer as a joke. And what do you know? Go Jared.
He is Ofer. I saw that stat and I giggled. I got a good giggle in the bar.
That's a great one.
Jonas Smith or Juwan Johnson? This feels like Jonas Smith.
Yep, I'm going Jonnu. Seattle gives the ball.
I would go Jonnu too. I will say, I know we kind of shit a little bit on Juwan Johnson on Tuesday's waiver wire show, but kind of going back and looking at the usage and target share, routes front, all that kind of stuff, I'm keeping an eye on Juwan Johnson. I'm not ready to completely write him off the way that I was in the early part of the season, but the way that their wide receiver core is consistently hurt, he may have more value than I think.
Yeah, it's fair.
But I'm still going to go Jonnu.
Jonnu's far more likely to score a touchdown.
Smitty, while you're here, I'm not jumping to you. Drop who's on the waivers because we can't help you unless we know who's on waivers. So just drop those while we answer these other couple. PPR, flex James Conner, Mike Evans, or Egbuka. Oh, holy hell, those are your flexes.
Yeah.
Yeah, you are not sitting Egbuka. I'm sorry.
And you are definitely sitting Mark Andrews for the second part of this question.
Yes. Yeah, you want to start Tucker Kraft.
Andrews typically does good against Cleveland, though.
I don't give a shit. 1 catch for 5 yards.
Hold on. Wait. I remember last year, Cleveland had not allowed a touchdown to tight ends, and Ryan had Mark Andrews as no touchdown special, and Mark Andrews scored 2 touchdowns that week.
Yep.
That sounds about Ryan.
If you want to play that game, Owen, But yeah, that laser beam that Mayfield threw to Egbuka that he split between the safeties and Egbuka just caught it like it was an everyday ball. He looks for real.
Yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong. I like Connor this week. Obviously, he was one of my upside picks, but you are not sitting Emeka Egbuka. Sorry.
Yeah, and they have a good matchup too. Yeah, I guess Houston. He won't see Derek Stingley though, so
that's my point. Stingley's going to be on Evans.
Yeah.
I just want to quickly throw out that Joe's story is actually from 2 years ago. I was looking up these Mark Andrews games, but he has scored 4 touchdowns in his last 3 games against Cleveland.
I'm telling you, I remember it vividly. I was like, they can't. They're stopping.
And I think with only 1 catch for 5 yards last week, I think that they're going to be look, we can't forget about Andrews. He's our bread and butter.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
And I can't click on any of the comments. That's frozen for me. If somebody could click
Mark
on those,
Andrews has 3 2-touchdown games against the Cleveland Browns in his career.
So you have to start Mark Andrews. You have to. Yeah, I don't know why the clicks are not working for me. So yeah, all you, Josh. What about Golden? Is this dude for real, or is he waiting on a teammate injury before he is usable? He's bad.
I disagree, but okay.
I also disagree.
He's bad.
You can't trust Green Bay wide receivers. We've said this,
and that's the point.
Yeah,
that's the point. It's less about how good or bad Matthew Golden is. He has strong hands. He catches off away from his body, which I love from a wide receiver. It's going to take him a little bit of time. Yeah, it's going to take him a little bit of time. No Packers player had more than 5 targets in week 1. And this is what we've talked about consistently with this team, is that they don't have any one player that they hyper target. which makes choosing any sort of Green Bay player difficult, plain and simple. And that's literally what Austin and I talked about on the DFS Showdown episode that airs tomorrow morning at 9 a.m.
You don't want any part of Matthew Golden, in my opinion. You don't want any part of him. Waiver quarterbacks for Smitty. I think we all might have some different answers here. I'm okay with JJ McCarthy.
I'm not mad at it. I'm going Rodgers. What I think we could say is I think we're all going to go with these guys over Love. It's a weird Thursday game, and I'm not expecting anything big out of Love this week.
I would take Love, but
really okay. Well, Smitty, I think you've listened for a decent.
If you want the rushing upside, though, like take McCarthy. In my opinion, like that's fine.
I think you've listened for a decent amount of time. I think you know who helps you out the most here.
Yeah, I knew exactly where this motherfucker was going.
Yeah, of course you did. Of course you did. Guys, I was on fire in week 1. A lot of my shit was hitting, okay? Right? The only one was apparently Freaky Friday with, apparently when Quentin Johnson's in Brazil and overtakes CeeDee Lamb's body. Like that was my only one that really missed.
He was performing for Karol G.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Karol G. Great artist. Anita from Brazil, also great artist. Latin Grammy winner. I like McCarthy. Also good rushing upside, obviously Daniel Jones too. So there you go. All right, folks. That's all she wrote. Remember, subscribe to the tube. If you're on the poll or the I can't even abbreviate Apple or Spotify. That one's just the poll.
When you said on the poll, I was like, where is he going with this?
I don't know. The Gentleman's Club, apparently. That sounds close enough to that, right? On the poll or the Tify, hit the follow button on Apple or Spotify or any other podcast platform, of course. Hop in the Discord. We have all the fun stuff in there as well. Yes, this is live. And yes, I will bring up your comment in case you were wondering. Listen, if a news station can do it, so can we, right?
Yes, ain't that the truth?
If a news station in Savannah, Georgia can put Michael Penis on their lower third, why can't we? Shout out, I think WTOC in Savannah.
There you go.
Shout out right down the road for me. Be sure to check out as well. We have shows every day except Sunday because Sunday is reserved for football. So DFS Showdown slate video. That is, you just teased that tomorrow at 9 a.m. Correct, Josh?
Correct. Yep. Tomorrow at 9 a.m. on the Club Fantasy DFS podcast stream on Apple and Spotify, as well as here on the YouTube page.
Hell yeah. Oh, Captain My Captain, currently on the channel now. Breakdown Thursday nights. Thursday night football matchup. That is weirded strangely.
I didn't read that right.
And then tune in Thursday night. It's Women Fantasy Football Sneaky Flex as well. A very cute little moment. The best 15
they called
on the internet.
Their flex picks. They had Zay Flowers, wide receiver 1, and Egbuka, wide receiver 5. I should
listen to them. I should listen to them. Dang. All right. And then, of course, hit the website Thursday morning for a full breakdown of Ryan's Stream of the Week picks. And check out the reel, because apparently, or the YouTube short, excuse me. Too many places now.
Yeah.
Check those out, because apparently it's going pretty well for Ryan.
We'll see if I can keep it going 2 weeks in a row. Make sure you guys watch it.
TikTok's been popping off too. Wow. Just look at the boys. Look at the boys. Having a great time. Okay. As always, we wrap up the show. 7 questions come in. Inconspicuous Panda. Hell yeah. Crazy for wanting to start Ja'Cory over Kenneth Walker. No.
Nope. Go ahead and do it. We talked about it earlier in the show.
Yep. JR's smile. Straightforward. Someone in my league dropped RJ Harvey. Yes. I don't even
drop Eckler quickly. Eckler's already banged up. It's Bill's backfield. RJ Harvey over Eckler.
Who dropped RJ Harvey? What?
Because he only got 5 carries. They said, fuck this scrub.
Yeah, never mind that he had 70 yards or whatever.
No, right?
I was going to say, he had yards. Like, what are we doing? Yeah, sprint to RJ Harvey, please. Drop Eckler. Yeah, 100%. Okay. Folks, that is it. Wow. Week 2, NFL season. Everyone get excited. Yes, AJ Brown is safe. He's arguably the safest receiver in the NFL.
There was early predictions in the show of 2 touchdowns this week.
or arguably the safest receiver. Good luck to everybody's teams in week 2. Good luck to your NFL teams in week 2, specifically mine, because if they don't win, I will be in a really bad mood next week. Okay? Be a really bad
And
mood
he's
next
back
week.
next week.
And I'm back next week. I missed week 4, but I'm back week 3. I won't be on the start sit shows until maybe week 7. We're gonna see. I might pop in week 5 depending on my schedule. But yeah, it was gonna be a real bad week in week 3 if the Patriots can't beat the freaking Dolphins. And then of course Josh's Eagles matching up in a Super Bowl rematch against the Kansas City Chiefs. That should be a very fun one. As we end, start Tillman or Reed in the flex. I think we're all going Tillman here. Yep, that one's pretty easy. As we just mentioned with Matthew Golden, can't really trust any Green Bay receivers right now.
That's correct.
All right. For Josh, myself, Frank, you follow Club Fantasy on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at Club Fantasy FFL. The URL, clubfantasyffl.com. Always remember, defense wins championships. Offense wins fantasy football. We will see you. Yes, I will see you next week.